Welcome back to Conference Championship Weekend. This is our bet show where we go through, give you our three favorite picks. This week, a little different. We're going to include props as, when there's only two games, we don't always have a side that we like, but we still want to keep it with our standard three bets. But we included some of our favorite props. And yeah, we're going to go through and we're starting now.
All right, well, I'll start us now. My first pick of the week is going to be a prop. It's going to be Justice Hill over 12 and a half receiving yards. So since Keaton Mitchell went down, Justice Hill has been the passing down back for the Ravens. They bring Gus Bus in on the goal line, 3rd and 1, 3rd and short situations. Obviously, Lamar is running all over the place, but the Chiefs' pass defense has been really good, but James Cook last game basically showed us that you can beat this Chiefs defense, this pass defense, with a running back in some of these dump off routes. And, with 12 and a half yards could literally be done in one catch. So I think he's going to have a couple of opportunities to get there. I think the number is low enough that it's extremely doable. So that's going to be my first go here.
I mean, you better hope that he catches or he does it on one catch because James Cook is going to call his friend Dalvin Cook and tell him how he's got to beat this defense.
Might be.
Even though he didn't really do that. So Dalvin Cook prop lines are pretty great, though.
Hit his over last week.
That's right. Really great play in fantasy, but not really.
Real great DFS play, Nick. Real galaxy brain play.
5 minutes before, I'm like, everything's on Dalvin Cook, guys. Trail me.
Good thing
work out too well.
Yeah, so I'm my first prop bet. Gonna be sticking with the theme here. I'm taking Brock Purdy over 20 and a half completions. You can find that on FanDuel. I mean, we know what this Lions team is good against. They're better against the run. They're abysmal against the pass. And we know that the San Francisco 49ers, they love to run screens, short passes. I know Debo I think he's going to play. But even without Debo, I still think he easily gets to 21 completions. I just don't see how they just obliterate this defense in the passing game, which the Lions have just been absolutely eviscerated every single year or every single game this year. So give me the easy one here. I think it's a layup. I think it's way too low. Purdy over the 20 and a half receptions.
All right. My first prop here is going to be Jameson Williams over 27 and a half yards. Jameson hasn't really been what everyone thought he could be this year. It's 27 and a half yards. The 49ers dominate the middle of the field. Like, that is where they control. And the Lions, two biggest weapons in Amon-Ra and Laporta, that's where they like to operate the most. So I think if the Lions are going to stand a chance in this game, they're going to have to get Jameson Williams or Josh Reynolds, but I just think Jameson Williams is more capable of some of those explosive plays. So if they stand a chance in this game, I think Jameson Williams has to have a career game. Like, I think that's their only chance of winning against the 49ers. And that is how you kind of attack them. It's the outside. They've been getting beat by them consistently all throughout the year by these outside receivers. And if you could just get Jameson Williams matched up with their corner, like I think his name is Ambry Thomas, that's the matchup you want to attack. And I think that they focus on doing that throughout the game. And it takes one with Jameson, like 27 and a half. That is like could be one completion or two. Like, I think his average catch is about 15 yards. So you just get like two catches from him. Could do it in one. I just really love the JMO over here.
Yeah, there's a lot of game scripts that lend itself to that line.
Yeah,
too.
playing from behind,
yeah, that's a safe one. I mean, I think it's going to be a shootout actually. So I'm taking Brandon Ayuk 80 yards over. I think with the injury to Debo, it should be a little bit more concentrated. CMC probably will have a little bit less volume since, they're facing one of the best run defenses. So I think they're just going to have to pass a little bit more. And I think this is where we see a Brock the Rock emergence. And he plays like he did last week, or last year. So
I was gonna say, I don't know if you want that.
not
when
last
his
week.
elbow exploded.
Unlike last week.
Or what do you mean last year in the conference championship when he got injured?
Yeah, his elbow just exploded.
That's
No, I
what
mean,
Nick's expecting.
Before that, I mean, he was doing good.
He's been playing well all year. What do you mean emergence? So he leads like every single statistic, like quarterback category.
I think he's fell off a little bit. I mean,
He didn't play well last week.
yeah,
Did enough, but yeah.
I wouldn't say he's like playing his best football right now. So I think he just takes a step forward and gets back to himself. That's all I'm saying.
we just have to remember the types of quarterbacks that I think the last 5 that have thrown against the Lions have thrown for 300 to 400 yards, and one of those I think was Nick Mullins twice. So
it was.
So it's like this. I mean, it's just ridiculous what teams are doing to this pass defense.
All right. Moving on to next props here or picks. We'll go ahead, Alex.
Sure. I'm going to take the Ravens Chiefs over 44.5 as my second pick. We saw it last week with the Chiefs Bills game. Total was even a point higher than this. And I think the Ravens offense is better than the Bills right now. So, Mahomes has just been dealing since the playoffs started as he does. And even though the Ravens defense is outstanding, I still think they're going to be able to put up some points on the board. And I think the Ravens can at the very least match what the Bills did offensively against the Chiefs. Yes, 2 really good, really, really good defenses, but 2 really solid offenses as well. And I think we're in for points in both games, and this total being almost a touchdown lower than the next game. I'll go with the over here, 44.5. I think, yeah, 44.5.
Not a bad one. I guess I'll take here next. I'm going to be taking the Lions plus the 7 here. I do think the 49ers win this game, but I think the Lions can keep it close. I think they have enough weapons on the offense. What we just talked about, their defense, gonna have to make a play here or there to get the ball back. But it's a conference championship game. It's I think 7 points is way too many. Lions have been playing well all year. Obviously the 49ers are at home, number 1 seed. Probably the better talents overall. But the stats here for San Francisco, they have not been able to cover spreads at home this entire year. Last week they didn't cover. They're 2-6, 2-4 in the last 6 ATS, 0-6 ATS in the last 6 home games as well. So I think Dan Campbell, great season they had. I think they keep it close, but I honestly think it's going to come down to Jake Moody field goal to just rip the hearts out of those Lions fans. I really do. Which will be very sad because they've suffered so long, but I think
I'm surprised to hear you say this.
I mean, I said the 49ers are going to win.
I know, but I am I think the 49ers are super overrated and losing in the Super Bowl, but I don't see how the Lions even keep this one close, but that's just my opinion.
It's just that conference championship. It's a conference game, and we mentioned, the 49ers have struggled a bit at home. Can't also their spreads when they're at home are usually higher than normal teams, so that kind of comes into play as well. But I think they keep it close.
Yeah, Corey, I'm gonna ride this one with you too.
But I got a pick here first, Nick, here before we go to our locks.
It's not my lock.
Oh, I swear I just saw it as your lock. But okay, go ahead. You
Same
must have
reason I'm
just-
scoring. No momentum anymore. Corey, I'm just gonna ride with you.
All right.
No reason.
You must have just changed something. I swear it was just right over there as your lock. All right. My second pick is
No, wait. I've got a pick.
Do you?
Before the locks.
Oh no, you go ahead.
All right, my second pick is Chiefs money line. You don't need the points here. I mean, just anytime I'm going to be able to get Mahomes throughout his whole career as an underdog, I'm just going to bet it, and long term, I think you're going to be profitable doing that. Now, in regards to the reasoning, we know Lamar Jackson has struggled at times passing the ball. That's been, he has games where he looks, really good passing the ball, but that's his weakness at the end of the day. Like if he's going to struggle, it's going to be passing the ball. This is the best defense that Lamar has faced all year long. There's no question in that. I think the Chiefs are going to force him to, move kind of more east and west and throw the ball on the run. I think that's going to be their game plan here. Try to control. It's going to be really hard to control Lamar just completely on the ground. But like with Josh Allen, he's a very talented passer, so you have to account for that as well. Whereas Lamar, I think they could focus a little bit more on the quarterback running. And on the Chiefs side, there's like no way to defend them. Like if you have a bunch of guys drop back in coverage, Pacheco is just going to destroy you on the ground. Like it is an amazing. I'll get to my lock, but like he has an amazing matchup this week against the Ravens. So if you drop a bunch of guys back in coverage, he's going to destroy you. You can't load the box against Mahomes because then Mahomes is just going to pick you apart. Like this team is a complete cheat code right now. As I outlined last week, the best defense that Mahomes has ever played with in his entire career. His wide receiver one, Rashee Rice, has looked great throughout the year. Like I said last week, I think he's better than Juju. Yes, they won the Super Bowl last year with Juju as their wide receiver one, a worse defense. Like last week, the Bills had this strategy of controlling the clock with James Cook and Josh Allen runs. Mahomes barely had the ball, and he had to score on every single opportunity, and he did. But the difference is, I think the Chiefs are going to try to do the exact same thing to Lamar, and I don't think Lamar is going to be able to do what Mahomes did and score on every single opportunity. And I think the Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to play a perfect game in those scenarios, and he definitely did. But I think if you were to look at like the units of a football team, right? The Chiefs defense, I think, is sitting in a tier of their own right now compared
I think
to
they're the best defense in football.
Yeah, they're at least playing like it right now. And I think nobody's really even close. And I don't think there's a more dominant group of 11 guys left in the NFL right now. So like, I like this for a close game. I'm taking Chiefs +4. Might be the first time I've ever bet on the Chiefs because I absolutely despise them. But I feel like you have to do it here. And if I lose this bet, I will be very happy. So it's kind of like a win-win scenario for me.
But just know your money is riding with Mahomes, right?
Yep, I'm aware.
Also, there is absolutely no way that the NFL does not want Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. Travis
Of course,
Kelce.
the NFL wants it so
on
bad.
top of
Corey.
that podium. This will be if I guarantee you if Chiefs make it, this will be the highest watched Super Bowl
Of
ever in
course.
history, and it will be never eclipsed. I don't think it'll ever be eclipsed.
It's going to be eclipsed because that's just like that's what always happens.
No, because
But-
Travis Kelce's gonna retire.
And yeah, that just eventually happen. But yeah, you're exactly right, Corey. The NFL
We
would
switch
love to see
around
the
the
Chiefs
world.
in the Super Bowl, but what does that change anything? Mahomes still has to go out there and perform. So whatever the NFL wants, Mahomes is still going to go
uh,
out there and just shred like he always does.
They gave the Chiefs another good ref this week.
I was gonna say,
If I hear one, if I hear one, you're literally one of those fish that's on Twitter and looks for that stuff and it
Oh my
thinks
God,
it
don't
means
look for it.
anything.
I don't look for it. It's just fun because it gets you so upset. Look how your face-
No,
how
because
upset
you
are.
like actually believe the stupid ref stuff. You literally
Yeah,
believe it.
But why
Okay.
why did they swap him in? Like, did the other guy have a bum ankle? Like, why are
They
they
didn't
just like
swap him in. What are you
No, you
talking?
just
they're
got
swapping
assigned.
him in?
No, they didn't. That's
they
just his
assigned all of
assignment.
them.
I don't know.
Yeah.
See,
I
I'm
think
with
it's
Corey.
just,
I got, I put my tinfoil hat on all the time. So
I am just rallying you up because PB because it's so easy.
No, Corey, the
Believe
conspiracy I
that.
thought's the Super Bowl logo, the colors. Isn't that so like it has to be Ravens 49ers, right?
I've never brought up that. But anyways,
But
I'm going
why?
with my lock of the week here. Sticking with my first pick is going to be Christian McCaffrey over 4.5 receptions. On average, this is where he is. Above that, usually around the 4 mark for the entire season. He's eclipsed 4.5 times. Probably about half to 3/4 of the games this year. He's gone over 4.5 receptions. Again, this narrative plays into, what the Lions are really bad against. That's the pass. I know it's the outside corners that get torched a lot, but McCaffrey is just a different animal, especially if Debo's out or if he's going to be very limited. McCaffrey's just going to get even more of the ball. I just don't see how he does not get 5 receptions in this game. I really don't. I think that he's going to get peppered with targets, use the screens because the Detroit Lions have a pretty good pass rush. So one way to slow down the pass rush, screens and short passes. He's going to absolutely just eat this defense out. So give me the over on McCaffrey 4.5.
All right, I'll hop in here with another 49er over. Nick already touched on it, but my lock of the week is Brandon Ayuk over 80.5 receiving yards. So already mentioned the Debo stuff. Even if he does play, I think they're going to try and limit his exposure, probably limit the amount of runs he has, keep the hits down on him, and utilize Ayuk a little bit more. And I think it was last week on the DFS show was running through some of the splits that these wide receiver ones, these outside guys have had against the Lions secondary. CeeDee Lamb, 13, 227 and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 12, 192 and a touchdown. Keeps going. Last 2 games in the playoffs, Puka, 9 for 181 and a touchdown, and Mike Evans for 8, 147 and a touchdown. On top of that, they play the third most man coverage, and Ayuk leads San Francisco in targets per route run in man coverage at almost 30%. So I think Purdy goes to him early and often, and I see a very similar, 7, 8 receptions, 100+ yards, touchdown in Ayuk this week.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be. I don't know how the 49ers don't score on every drive they have. Oh my gosh.
It's a bad matchup for
It's
the Lions.
Horrible. Okay. My lock of the week is Pacheco over 63.5 yards. Kind of discussed it in my Chiefs money line bet, but I think the Chiefs game plan is going to be similar to what the Bills did last week, which is control the clock by running the ball, keeping the other opposing team off the field. And the thing is, I know that's what the Ravens are going to try to do as well, but I think the Chiefs are just going to have more success at it. The way the Chiefs run these pitches with Pacheco at one of the higher rates in the league. Baltimore has a bottom 5 run defense against those plays. The Chiefs are 7th in EPA and runs up the middle. Ravens are bottom 2 against those. And the Chiefs also use run plays out of shotgun, where it says at one of the high, yeah. So they run Pacheco out of shotgun, one of the highest rates in the league, and Baltimore is allowing 5.4 yards to carry on those plays. So like all the different ways that the Chiefs run Pacheco, the Ravens are awful against. So everything is pointing, in fact, to I think Mahomes is going to do his thing, but I think Pacheco is a major. He's like the X factor to me in this game, in how they use him. So taking Pacheco over 63.5 yards. Lock it in.
You guys see that press conference with him where they're like, "Did you see
Running.
that? Yeah, you run like you bite people."
Yeah, he thought that was funny too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty
but
good.
alrighty. That'll do it for our conference championship bets. We'll be back for our DFS 2-game slate breakdown. So stay tuned for that. Please leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.